Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching Smothered, Season 1, Episode 1. I think we're about to watch Mariah and Sandra. Let's get to the show. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. Let's see if anything of interest comes out of my face as I watch the show.
Hug. Oh, I love you so much.
Let me start it and then you finish it.
Is it your birthday?
Did I make you?
I'm turning 21 and I want my mom to come be 21 with me.
Love you so much. You're like my best friend, like for real now.
For real. My mom is obsessed with me and I'm equally as obsessed with her.
Okay, so we're hearing from the daughter that they are obsessed with each other. Let's find out what that means.
Best thing that's ever happened to me.
So me and my mom are extremely alike. We like super girly things. We like attention.
I think people misunderstand our relationship, but we have never cared. This is our movie and everyone's just extras.
All right, interesting. Nothing pathological seen yet, but we're starting to see some notable data. They both say that they are the center of attention. They both like a lot of attention. That's what the daughter says. And then the mother says that they are in the movie and everyone else is extras. It's pretty notable language from the two of them. Let's continue watching.
Things that we do that other moms and daughters don't do together is party together, go out together, club together. And when I was old enough, we got our boobs done together. We go to the gynecologist together. She's a reflection of me. I'm a reflection of her. If my kook is disgusting, that's her reflection.
Okay. So nothing wrong with family members looking out for each other's health. Nothing wrong with family members using plastic surgery strategies together. Nothing pathological yet. I always assume that people are healthy until proven otherwise. And so let's wait until we see some definite pathology. And by pathology, what we're looking for, particularly on a show like this, is there coercion between the mother down to the daughter? Is the mother coercing the daughter to be very close and enmeshed with the mother? Is the mother requiring the daughter meet her own attachment needs in a variety of ways that limits the daughter's possibilities in life? Are both people able to meet each other's needs in a reciprocal way because they're both adults? And are each of them able to meet other needs in their life in a flexible way that might conflict with their relationship? If the daughter wants to hang out with someone romantically and they don't want the mother around, does the mother allow for that, both physically and emotionally? If the mother wants to have a relationship outside, a friendship, a romantic relationship, a relationship with another family member, will the daughter allow that to happen? Those are some of the things that we're going to look for as we continue watching.
We're going to Vegas.
So excited about that.
And you're sure friends are going to be okay with me going?
Of course, mom, you're my bestie.
All right, I just want to make sure.
I want you to have a good time, like all the way. I push her to be out there. Let's go to Vegas. You can live your life now, like if you were 20. Why not?
You were a little pea.
Okay, for some people, that might seem pathological. It's like, Sandra is 45. She's trying to act like she's 21. That's not appropriate. There's nothing pathological about that on its face. It certainly can be a problem or can be a symptom of a larger problem. But let's reserve judgment until we see actual outcomes or potential outcomes that are problematic for them and other people.
You know, like that. And the day I went to the doctor, he was like, there she is.
I knew that Mariah, from the day that she was born, I knew she was going to be everything to me. I smothered Mariah like crazy.
I've always been more close to my mom than my dad. I don't know, it just was born that way.
Okay, so it looks like there are two daughters, maybe a younger daughter, a younger sister. And then she just said, I've always been closer to my mom than my dad. Just data. Let's continue watching.
When my parents divorced, it was just my mom and she needed me to help with Chanel, my little sister. I had to step up.
All right. So our first sign of potential problems. When you have a divorce, sometimes because of abandonment or conflict between the parents, a child is parentified in the family system, meaning that you have a young child. Look like the child was 8 years old, 6 years old when in that picture. Who knows when the divorce actually happened? But anyway, the idea goes is that family systems have a lot of needs, and sometimes when the parent system is overloaded with stress for one reason or another, one of the children will be elected by the system, and that child will, to some extent, volunteer themselves for this job of being elevated in the hierarchy in a way that is harmful to the child's personality development, but beneficial to the system overall. In that there's a younger child that needs a lot of love and attention and oversight and supervision. And the mother, it sounds like she didn't have enough time or energy or whatever to watch both of the kids. And so the older child, Mariah, was elected to be parentified. There's some good things to that of Mariah will sometime, parentified kids sometimes mature very quickly. They become very responsible, and they sometimes are responsible throughout their lives as a result. But there's a sacrifice. They have to sacrifice their own childhood. Now, sometimes what will happen is when we sacrifice our childhood, we are constantly, as an adult, trying to assert our childhood freedoms. There are various different ways of looking at this. One way is that as we age, we are in this constant battle or dilemma between freedom and responsibility. And that on one hand, we want the freedom to do whatever we want and not to have to do chores or pick up our clothes off the ground or go to work or brush our teeth. We want the freedom. We want to eat whatever we want. We want to go to bed when we want. But we also have this desire for responsibility, the ability to meet other people's needs, the ability to earn money, the ability to have a clean house, the ability to have self-esteem and accomplishing things. And those two things do not always, they're not always compatible. And so when you're parentified, you have to sacrifice your freedom for the benefit of responsibility, or else the family system will not operate. And so as a result, when you're an adult, you might flip-flop it. You might let go of responsibility in lieu of freedom to make up for that deficit, but you need to do that for 35 years to make up for the 15 years of sacrifice that you gave up when you were a young person. Let's continue watching.
I have different bonds with my girls.
What y'all up to?
Hi, baby. Sometimes we look to Chanel to kind of keep us grounded. She's such an adult. We're doing makeup. Wanna do yours?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna go in here and take a nap, do some homework.
Some of the things my sister and my mom do, I wouldn't do. The way they dress sometimes is crazy, the way they act.
What's up, ladies?
Hey. Even though my parents are divorced, we all live under one roof, and we make it work.
Okay, interesting. So even though the parents are divorced, they all live under one roof, and it looks like both of the kids live in the home. So this is interesting because usually when we're looking at an enmeshed pair between mother and child, we're looking at a situation where there weren't any other family members around to have multiple relationships with. And the mother and child completely depend on each other for all their emotional needs. But it looks like dad is around, other daughter is around. So this is looking a little bit more complex than the relationships that, the other two relationships that I've seen thus far on this episode.
Growing up, I wasn't super close with my dad. It took some time for my mom to rebuild her relationship with him.
What the hell y'all doing?
Oh my God, why do you always have to have that face?
Our living situation, it's different because me and Sandra are not married anymore.
But it makes sense for us financially, and it gives me a chance to be around my daughters more.
So this is great. Not every family should do this necessarily, but I wish more families would do this. Because when you divorce, particularly when the kids are older, it's really hard to have that family experience between parents and kids. So, for example, your kids are 15 and 17, and you divorce, and one parent will usually move out of the house. Often, culturally, it's the father. And now you're in a situation where in order for the father to have really good quality sort of hangout time with the daughters have to go to his apartment. And the daughters are like, well, I don't really like that apartment. My stuff isn't over there. It's in a neighborhood I'm not very familiar with. And I'm not enthusiastic about that, but I'll go and we'll sit here. And because really family life and attachment is being in proximity with each other all day long. When you're making pancakes, when you're watching TV, that physical proximity is very important. That's why long distance relationships, and during the pandemic, we can really feel that isolation. And so for a father in that situation to have a relationship with the daughters, sometimes it's great, particularly if the divorced parents can get along well enough, for the father just to move into the home. Then he gets that 24/7 hangout time attachment with the daughter. So this is great. Now, the other thing that we're hearing is that there was a divorce and then there was a rocky time. There's probably a rocky time before the divorce and a rocky time after the divorce. The question I would have is, did the mother turn to the oldest daughter for companionship, overly so, as a reprieve from the difficulty she was going through with her husband? That would be the foundation of a pathologically enmeshed relationship between mother and daughter, a smothered relationship, if you will. But we haven't seen anything definitive yet, so let's continue watching.
I can see how Sandra and Mariah have gone overboard, even with dress.
When Mariah turned 19, she started dressing a little bit more provocative.
My social media is my alter ego. It's like my sexy side. When my mom first saw my photo shoots on my social media, she was very shocked. But I explained to her that those pictures empower me and I'm comfortable in my own skin.
All right, so there's nothing wrong with having a Instagram alter ego. It's easy to judge that. It's easy to look at that and say it's fake and narcissistic and self-centered. But she's 21, or really of any age. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I like to do stuff on Instagram. The key is it the only way or perhaps the primary way in which she gets self-esteem and social friend contact? Because we have a lot of needs. We have needs for closeness, warmth, physical affection, romance, attachment, sometimes sex. We have needs for competence, for seeming like we're good at things. We have needs for security and safety and shelter. We have a lot of needs. And the question always is, for someone that is on Instagram a lot, how is their full self being realized? Are they able to get all of their needs met? And they do Instagram on the side. Who knows? Let's continue watching.
I was thinking like maybe this sheer dress for you because it's like...
That one for me.
My mom used to dress super modest and I've encouraged her to dress how she wants to dress. So over time, I've made my mom more comfortable in being sexy and embracing her body.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay, interesting. So we're seeing more evidence of parentification in the oldest daughter here, in that as she got self-esteem on Instagram and she started to have body empowerment, if you will, female body empowerment, as she put it. She didn't use those exact words, but she was essentially saying that. She, because she's been parentified in the hierarchy, is taking care of mom and saying, you know what, my mom has issues of self-esteem and I'm going to help her also have female physical body empowerment. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with an adult child helping out their parents. But if it's at the sacrifice of the oldest daughter's ability to strike out on her own when she wants to, then that's a situation of pathology. Also, if it's at the sacrifice of the mother also taking care of the daughter, and more often taking care of the daughter, then the daughter is neglected in that situation. I'm not seeing anything definitive yet. I'm just seeing a lot of slight yellow flags. Let's continue watching.
Okay. She'd sacrificed everything to raise me and my sister. And I admire her and I just want the world to see how beautiful she is.
These look like grandma panties.
Yeah, still PG. We need to get it X-rated.
Right.
Before we moved back in with my dad, me and my mom used to walk around the house naked if we wanted to. Now we can't do that anymore because my dad's around. So we have to have some clothes on.
Let's just go see what your dad thinks.
All right. So again, I'm guessing a lot of people watching this show are saying, ew, that's gross, that's inappropriate, that's bad boundaries, what's wrong with these people? I'm not seeing anything inherently wrong with what they're doing. It might be completely different than your lifestyle, but what we're looking for when we're looking for bad behavior that we can shame and judge legitimately is when someone's rights and someone's flexibility is being limited by someone else. And I'm not seeing that inherently yet. If you've watched ahead in this season, maybe you know more than I do, but I haven't seen anything like that yet. It's perfectly fine for two adult women to express themselves physically and sexually as they please, as long as it's not harming other people, right? But the question is that I have is, does the daughter feel free enough to not have to take care of her mother? I don't know the answer to that yet. Let's continue watching.
Where the hell y'all going?
Vegas!
Vegas. She's 21, remember?
Y'all looking like some ghetto mermaids or something.
It's cute, but it's y'all a little too much in the front. Like, it's all out. We need to
Cover it up a little.
something somehow. I just can't.
So we have a lot of slut shaming in our society, and so that would be another part of the entertainment value, I suppose, of this show. Who knows what people are reacting. Maybe everyone watches the show and says, yeah, go for it, women, sex positivity, that's great. I don't know what people are saying. I imagine some people are looking at this and having senses of, you shouldn't do that as a woman, that's unladylike, that is just asking for someone to assault you, those kinds of outmoded ideas. So there's nothing wrong with adult women expressing themselves, dressing as they want, as long as they're not harming other people, and the sort of Vegas clubs they go to allow this sort of dress code, which they wouldn't let you into the club otherwise, then it's totally fine. Let's continue watching.
I believe that they're super comfortable wearing these out in public. Sometimes I feel like my mom and my sister do push the limit on what they wear, and this might be one of those times.
When I get older, I'm for sure not dressing half naked, especially not with my mom.
Nothing wrong with that as well. Nothing wrong with a daughter saying, there's no way in heck that I'm going to do that with my own mother. That's also absolutely fine. Now, we heard before earlier from the daughter and from the mother that they both like to get a lot of attention, and that the world is the extras in their two-person show. So let's add this to that column of data as well. There's nothing wrong with liking to get attention. There is something potentially problematic if you need attention to feel good about yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting a little bit of attention to feel good about yourself. There's something self-harming and usually relationship harming when you need a lot of attention to cover up massive self-esteem issues, which sometimes we'll call it histrionic personality. There's other terms as well. Listen to my deep dive on histrionic personality. It's only available to patrons, by the way. You have to become a patron on Patreon, and you get access to that episode along with hundreds of other deep dives along those lines and personality. Anyway, let's continue watching the show.
Are y'all really wearing that? Mariah, that's too much, man. I'm not approving that.
Mariah and I are gonna celebrate Mariah's 21st birthday the way that we wanna celebrate it, and Adrian has nothing to say about it. She's my daughter. He's not gonna stop us. Mwah. Okay. You already know Daddy's not gonna like that.
You like that for real?
Still.
I don't.
All right, well, that does it for watching Mariah and Sandra on Smothered, Season 1, Episode 1. Let's conclude there. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.